Hey Northstate, Preston, Donion here. Been working on a bit of a deep dive this morning into El Nino, La Niña, what that means for us. Now, if you missed the news yesterday, it was officially declared that we have entered a La Niña phase. So I want to give you a little breakdown of what that means, and then we'll talk about what those implications are for our weather the rest of winter and into early spring. Now, this is part of the ENSO, the El Nino Southern Oscillation, and that index measures temperatures of the sea surface out over the Pacific and how they vary compared to normal. If they're colder than normal, that's considered a La Nina. So we've seen notably cooler than normal sea surface temperatures out there, and that is set up for a La Nina. Now, we have El Nino, that's when that sea surface temperature out over the Pacific, in these areas that we kind of measure those temperatures, when they're warmer than normal, that's an El Nino. Now, without getting into too much of the fine detail, that El Nino versus La Nina, or in the middle, that neutral circumstance, that really helps position the jet stream, where we set up our storm track, in other words. And so that can determine where we see the cool, wet weather up and down the west coast, really across the entire United States. It's impressive to think that these temperatures of the ocean water out in the Pacific determine weather across the entire country and really the continent, but it does happen. And so with that La Nina in mind, that's going to stack the deck towards a certain set of climate conditions across the United States, but particularly the west coast. So we'll talk about exactly what that means for us here in the North State compared to historical examples of El Ninos and La Ninas that we've seen and what you might expect here in 2025. So stay tuned for that. I'll work on getting that up for you on Monday. In the meantime, have a fantastic weekend and enjoy that sunshine. It's out there to stay.